Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to be looking at this. So this is a 1999 version of the musical Annie. This is part of the Wonderful World of Disney. So it's a bunch of Disney films. I think made for television Disney films is what this is. So I've already covered the major one with Albert Finney and Carol Burnett. This is the second version that came out. This is the first kind of remake of that film that came out in '83. This came out in '99. It stars Kathy Bates, who is Miss Agatha Hannington, who's the owner of the orphanage. Alan Cumming, who plays her brother, Daniel Francis Rooster Harrington. He has a full name. Grace Farrell, who is Warbucks' secretary, is played by, I'm going to mispronounce her, Audra McDonald, who's in fact African American. Lily, who is St. Regis, who is Rooster's girlfriend, is played by Kristin Chenoweth, who was apparently at the time very well known in the Broadway scene. Oliver Warbucks, as in Daddy Roebucks, Warbucks, is played by Victor Garber. There's a few other characters in here. And where the heck is the character who plays Annie? Who's not, obviously, at the top here. Annie is played by Alicia Morton, who doesn't look like she's acting anymore. I think she teaches. So this is kind of an interesting version. Similar to the version, the '83 version that I've already covered. It's very obvious that the actors and actresses in this have stage experience. They have that voice for it. They have the power in their voice to present this. It is very similar to the previous version. There's a little bit less dancing. A little bit less singing in this one. Obviously, it's a lot lower budget than what we saw in the original Annie, which didn't make its budget back, despite being done very well. What is the... it's actually a little bit higher. It's a 6.7 on IMDb. So it's not bad. It's a very enjoyable film. If you're obviously not familiar with this story, Annie is a young girl. She's living in an orphanage. She thinks her parents left her with a note and like half a locket or something when they abandoned her. And so she's keep wishing she wants to go find her parents. She's about 11 years old. The proprietress of the orphanage is very, very mean. She's abusive. She's nasty. Kathy Bates plays her very well. She's very, very obnoxious. Not Annie, Kathy Bates' character, which is Agatha Hannington. And she's sick of dealing with a bunch of little girls, and that's part of one of the songs. Annie escapes. She ends up befriending this dog. And then Grace, who again is the secretary of a billionaire by the name of Oliver Warbucks. Go back to this. Yes, Warbucks. He's referred to as Daddy Warbucks in the other film, where he's played by Albert Finney. In this one, again, he's played by actor's name, Victor Garber, who I know has been on Broadway, as has Kathy Bates. And I'm assuming Alan Cumming, who's more well known for various other things. So obviously this has a decently star-studded cast here. So there's a little bit less of the singing, but there's still plenty, obviously. Back to the story, he's a hard-nosed billionaire. Annie's brought to his mansion by Grace because they want to improve his, it's a publicity stunt kind of thing. And he's throwing on some sort of Christmas thing and he wants to look nice. He's mad because she's not a boy. Then he realizes she hasn't really ever seen New York and he softens for her, wants to adopt her, realizes she's looking for her parents. I believe she gets Roosevelt involved. Then Alan Cumming's character comes in, Rooster, who's Kathy Bates' character's brother and his girlfriend come in. And as opposed to the previous version, it's Harrington and her brother who pose as Annie's parents. So they come up with a scheme to pretend to be Annie's parents. In the previous, it's Rooster and his girlfriend Lily who do this. So, but they come in now, and they don't have the big chase scene like in the other film. So, they come in. Roosevelt prevents the fact that Annie realizes who it is immediately. Lily shows up with the orphans, reveals them because she's going to get cut out of the money. They never leave Warbucks' home. Roosevelt comes in, reveals that Annie's parents were killed in a fire, unfortunately. And essentially, they out Rooster, his girlfriend, and Harrington. Is pretty much they're all criminals, and they're being taken away. And it ends with them singing and dancing, and it's Christmas time, and all her friends, Roosevelt is going to get all her friends adopted. And so it's a happy ending. This is a good film. Again, even though it doesn't have the budget of the other one, it has a really good cast. I'm not sure I'm fond of Garber in a bald cap, but again, Bates is fantastic. The actress who plays Annie is very, very interesting. I will cover more comparisons in another video, but this is really, really good. It's definitely something I would recommend. Again, it's a made-for-TV Disney film that came out in 1999. It's part of their series by A Wonderful World of Disney, which is how I had to find it on IMDb. So, great film, highly recommend. It's a great comparison to the previous film, and I will cover the brand new one as well. And we will talk a little bit more about that, and then we'll talk about all three in another video. So that is it. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you have one. If you want to know, besides this, I covered this thing. And yes, all three videos, these 4 videos are coming out in one day. Cover that thing. I'm covering this thing. This is the newest one. And I'm going to look at all 3 in a separate video. I covered other musicals this year. Sound of Music, Mary Poppins, Funny Girl, My Fair Lady, and The King and I. So if you're looking for my opinions on any of those, I've covered a whole series on various different Cinderella adaptations. I've covered the Princess Diaries books, the books, and the films, along with some historical videos on princesses and British monarchy. I've covered Tamora Pierson book series as well. I covered the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. I'm covering another Meg Cabot series, Allie Finkel, right now. I'm going back to Catherine Lasky. I'm going to look at some of the graphic novels for the Animorph series incoming. I'm going to look at Anne of Green Gables. I did cover early on in my channel, I covered an hour-long video looking at everything. I'm going to do individual ones that's coming in 2024. I'm going to look at Boxcar Children, then I'm looking at Wings of Fire. So that's incoming, series-wise. What's backing those up? I don't know. Don't know yet. I'm doing a bunch of mystery TV shows to back up the Boxcar Children. I'm doing the 4 films of the Anne of Green Gables series, as well as the 7 series book series that Sullivan did. That's the guy who produced the 4 films as well, who's most well known. So I have a lot of stuff incoming. And then, of course, I cover Black History Month, Irish History Month, LGBTQ stuff. I covered unicorns this year. I covered vaccines this year. I cover all sorts of stuff. So be sure to check out the rest of the channel. Thank you.